Hey everyone, hope you all made it home safe, and if you're still in the process of traveling, that you do get home safe as well. So for today, we're just going to be looking at what your weekly lesson plan is and some of the things that you need to go over. Not a whole lot of new content for you guys this week in particular, so let's just take a look at this week, and I'll also talk to you about next week. As you can see, you'll have your Unit 3 test. So for today, you just have to watch this video, get an idea of what the weekly lesson plan is. We're going to go through the project that you'll be working on for today and tomorrow as well. So that's tomorrow's planned work period for your paper. On Wednesday, you'll have a Juno pod and a reading for Canadian astronomy, so hopefully you brought your textbooks home with you. You will need them, so we'll do that. And then Thursday it'll be international astronomy. So we'll just be talking about historical events for both. Obviously on the Wednesday, the Canadian ones, and then some of the more famous ones on Thursday that weren't particularly Canadian, probably a few of them. And then Friday. So your paper will be due on Friday, and then you'll also have your discussion thread. The discussion thread is going to be, let's see here, for you guys, you have a famous celestial object. So you're going to do, it'll be put out on Thursday. I'll type it up and put it out Thursday, but rough idea, you're going to look up one famous celestial object that we haven't discussed in class. You're going to provide an image of it, and then your response is going to be to comment on someone else's post when that image was taken. So when was it essentially discovered? So, let's see, video plan. Yeah, that's really all that is for this week. Like I said, next week you'll have your unit test, so you'll come back next Monday, you'll have another video, you'll have a unit review, and then your test will be on Thursday, a discussion on Friday following. But that's it for this week, so all I'm going to do here, guys, is just explain to you what your research paper should look like and some of the key topics you need to cover. So let's see if I can switch this over. So there's the recording, the background, and that's what we need. Okay. So, so you're going to pick a famous astronomer, so someone who studies the night sky, and you're going to discuss a few different things about them in particular. So, by yourself, write a 2-page paper on an astronomer of your choice and discuss their research and discoveries. So the paper must include a title page and a reference page. As you guys know, those don't count towards the 2-page total, so it's title page, your 2 pages, reference page, and that's it. Normally you would have your rubric to attach, but not for this one. Throughout the paper, you need to have 2 APA references, so make sure you hit that minimum criteria. You'll probably end up wanting to use 3. Your format, 12-point font, Times New Roman. I'm not really too picky with the Times New Roman one. It's just you want to pick something that's professional, right? Not cursive or has lines in it or is overly fancy. You want to keep it simplistic so that someone who, anyone can read it and not be bothered by the type of writing. Some people would maybe prefer other types, so you just kind of want to keep it with the general one. And double space it, obviously. So avoid using I, me, we, etc. So it shouldn't have anything to do with your opinion. It should be this person was born then, they did this. It's not I think they did this and that's so cool. There's no opinion in a science-based paper, even if it is research. No diagrams, table, or images used in this paper, so you don't have to put anything in there, nor should you. You'll lose marks for it. Typically, the reason I do this is I have people who just think they can put a picture of the astronomer, and that's going to eat a half page, so we avoid that. In particular, too, we want to focus on working on your writing skills. So, topics. So, you have to briefly introduce your astronomers with just general background information. So where were they from, where did they grow up, what did they do growing up, where did they go to school, kind of thing. Nothing too specific there. One thing I will say, and this is where we got into problems on your last paper, people who take something from Wikipedia or wherever you get your facts from, it's okay for Wikipedia when you're just doing general facts about their life. When you're looking up their research, you want to use a more scientific-based website, and we'll talk about that in your rubric in a second. But with that being said, when you go to something and you're going to copy, a sentence, so-and-so was born in Germany in 1987, and then you're going to change the sentence to, in 1987, so-and-so was born in Germany. You got to be a little more creative than that. Changing one or two words in a sentence is still plagiarism, and if you're going to do that, you might as well just copy and paste the whole thing and put it in quotations. Again, with that being said, no more than about a third of this page should be quotations. I understand it's research, so that's why we're okay with using some, but for the most part, you do want to relay it in your own words. The rest of the paper, that should take up about a half page for your introduction, just on background information. If it goes to 3/4 of a page, that's okay, but you don't really want to spend more time on the introductory points just about their general life. You want to talk more about their research in this. So, discuss in detail 2 to 3 discoveries or research topics that the astronomer is known for, and this should make up a page to a page and a half. So there's the order for it. Obviously, like I said, no rubric necessary, but let's take a look at the rubric. So I'll print them out when I read through everyone's. So organization, so do you have everything in the right order? Is it spaced neatly? Did you indent the start of your paragraphs? Did you start half your title page on one page, or is your reference page its own page? Little stuff like that. For the most part, you guys are pretty good with that organizational stuff, and indenting your paragraphs is only the only main thing, and that's only at the start, right? Amount of information, so obviously you need to hit the 2-page max to get the full marks, but particularly discuss every topic in detail. You can't just touch on one of the discoveries in 2 sentences and consider it enough. You need to have more in-depth analysis there. Quality of information, so again, when we're talking about their discoveries, you don't want to just talk about what they did. You want to talk about how important it is or why it was so significant, how they did it. Sources, so again, you need to have 2 APA references. So with that being said, you probably will want to use about 3 or 4 references here, but if you find 2, guys, it stopped recording, so I'm just going to continue on from where I was. So just give me a second. Okay, so internet use, as I was saying, if you have 2 really good sources, that's not a big deal. You can use just 2. Mechanics is pretty straightforward, just your spelling, punctuation, grammar, nothing complicated there. So the last thing I did want to say was, for submitting the paper, you're not going to send it to me in a Jupyter message. There'll be a section under your calendar or your to-do list. You can go find the assignment, and then it should have a Dropbox for you to submit it in there. It just saves my inbox from getting filled up. If you do ultimately can't find it, or the Dropbox is closed, send it to me. But if you send it later than the given due date, which is Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, so on our time into the school day, then it's late. Otherwise, submit it before then and you're fine. Alright, have a good week, guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Enjoy your time at home.